Welcome to Haunt Weekly. Hello, everyone. I'm Jonathan.
I'm Crystal.
And this is Haunt Weekly, a weekly podcast for the haunted attraction and entertainment community. Whether you're an actor, a owner, or just plain aficionado, we aim to be a podcast for you. And we return to you this week with episode 456, which I checked is divisible by 4. Therefore, it means it's time to do
the news.
Therefore, it's time to do. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway.
It only took you this long to get to that?
Yeah, only 456 episodes.
Yeah.
But yes, indeed, we're doing the August news, and we have a lot to go through, including some that's particularly exciting in this house.
Mm-hmm.
So stay tuned as we talk to that. But first things first, definitely follow us and like us at all the places we exist. We're at hauntweekly.com, Haunt Weekly on X/Twitter, whatever the cool kids are calling it these days, Haunt Weekly on Facebook, youtube.com/Haunt Weekly is the YouTube channel, and of course, wherever you subscribe to your podcast, we're there. Following you, stalking you. We know what you had for breakfast. It was Cheerios. Now, if anyone had Cheerios for breakfast that morning, they're going to be like freaked right now.
Yeah, I know.
Isn't that right, Dave? If Dave had Cheerios, he's really screwed.
Oh.
But anyways, thank you very much for that. So, anyways, doing our housekeeping top of the hour stuff, we did not get a lot done for the haunt this week, I have to be honest. The reason being heat still was really, really bad.
And still getting over illness, too.
Yeah, and we both have been ill, and it's been a very fatiguey illness.
Yeah, I did get some sketches done for the yard, though.
Yes.
And figured out where to supply some of the things for it. So
yeah, we're doing an ambitious yard display this year. So, well, not as ambitious as last year, I think. I think it's differently ambitious.
Exactly. I think it's apples and oranges.
Yeah, it's a differently ambitious one. We're trying to make a more interactive one, where last year was more structural.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting. I think we can do it. But yeah, getting sketches and sort of nailing down exactly what we're doing is important. So, yes, I'm very excited about it. We're going to be talking more about that, I'm sure, in the coming weeks.
Yeah, but we mentioned it way months ago.
Yeah, I don't remember what episode I don't remember when we mentioned it. We did mention it, though. So, yeah, that's inside intellectual work has been the crux of it for us. Mm-hmm. Well, let's see. Next up, every week we do ask a question a week. Last week we asked a repeat. It was a repeat of a question, but one that I think is always good to get the pulse on. What video game would you recommend to us as haunters, or for new haunters in particular? Mm-hmm. And we had a lot of great answers.
Yeah, Maximus Critius Bryant said, and I just totally flubbed your name.
Yeah, how do you fluff that name?
I was trying to read ahead. I know. Anyway, Maximus said Dead by Daylight. There's a pretty in-depth backstory on each character, whether it is killer or survivor. A lot of examples of tragedy that is often the foundation of a character, and you unlock more of a story with playing the game and getting through their tomes.
All right, Christian Risto said the Watcher of Realms are similar games. Encourage us to hear him out because the gameplay, and he refers to it as a grind-out tower defense. I've never heard of this game. But I do enjoy a good tower defense game.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been doing tower defense games way back since, like, Bloons 1. So I'm like OG on tower defense games. But he says the game is only good, and he puts good in quotes. Really selling it here. Mm-hmm. Because of character design, pay special attention to all the small all details and added over. Yes, Jonathan Crystal, I expect you to read this whole novel on the podcast.
Well, Jonathan just did.
Yes.
Sabra Pretty said Phasmophobia.
Yeah.
It's a regular console
or VR.
Or in VR.
Mm-hmm.
Or Resident Evil Village.
Or Evil Within.
Yeah.
We've actually played Phasmophobia.
Yes.
It didn't click with us the couple of times we tried it.
Was that the roller coaster one?
No, that was the one we were running around the haunted house and trying to get the pieces together. We're like the haunted investigators. If I remember the right game. But it just didn't click the first time, and admittedly, one thing I've learned playing Deep Rock Galactic is that it does take us longer than usual for multiplayer games to click with us.
Yeah.
And if there isn't like some deep hook in there to pull us past the first hurdles, where we ain't gonna make it.
Mm-hmm.
Carter Carroll said, OG Silent Hill, Zombies Ate My Neighbors, or Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Okay, I actually love the game Zombie Ate My Neighbors.
Yeah.
I own it on the Genesis. I have a Genesis and the game. So I have played it. We have played it together.
Yeah.
And enjoyed it. I'm very curious why that'd be a game for haunters, other than like the various themes.
Yeah.
Because it's more of a comedy game.
It is, but you do have to set up scares and stuff, right?
No, that's the one where you're just running around.
Okay.
No, you're thinking Haunting starring Poltergeist.
I am.
No, this is the one where you run around and basically use your bazookas and water pistols and things like that to fend off. If you saw the first level, you'd recognize it immediately. But moving on.
Joshua Roa St. Pierre said Amnesia: The Dark Descent. We have both played that.
Yep. Enjoyed it.
Very good.
Yeah. No real comment. And AJ Brown, maybe not for any reason specifically for new haunters, but I personally am inspired mostly by games for character design. Soma, ILL, which is not out yet, Observer, Amygdala, Flathead, and Cell Cub Test, also not out yet.
I think it's Amygdala.
Amygdala. Oh, yeah, that would be way more sense, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Amygdala. I don't know why I made that harder on myself.
I don't know. I said Maximus's name all weird and made it harder on myself. So.
Yeah, so anyway, I played Soma. Don't recognize the others on that list. Now, they also do mention the game Control, which I played. And I've got to admit, Control has a great haunt aesthetic. Mm-hmm. It's like the vibe is very scary and very tense. I could not get past how terrible the gunplay was in it for me. And I'm sorry to say that. And here's the thing. I suspect it's better on console.
Yeah.
Because with PC gaming, I expect like a certain degree, a certain feel to the shooting. This felt like a game that was designed for consoles first. Mm-hmm. And I think that may be the issue. I just couldn't get past the shooting. Maybe if I tried it, we busted out the PlayStation 4 or something and gave it a shot. Maybe, I don't know, is it on PlayStation 4? I have no idea. But anyways, this week's question of the week will become remarkably relevant in a few minutes, as you'll find out. But what celebrity would you like to see partner with a haunt? Let us know. HauntWeekly.com, Haunt Weekly on Twitter, Haunt Weekly on Facebook, and YouTube.com/Haunt Weekly. Send an email, leave a comment. We read everything. Believe me, we're weird like that. All right. Well, since there's also an even number episode, we get to catch up a little bit and do conference reminders.
Yeah.
And so, Crystal, take us away.
Okay, September 13th and through the 15th. It is a September to Dismember in Arden, North Carolina. At Luthridge is the venue, featuring a haunted trail, vendors, camp-related activities. Hauntfest.net for more info.
Okay, then after that, it is Creep It Real Nostalgic, September 14th through the 15th in Santa Ana, California, the Heritage Museum OC, over 100 vendors. CreepItRealOC.com for more information.
November 8th and 9th, it's Legendary Haunt Tour in Cincinnati, Ohio. In Weston, Cincinnati is where they'll start off, and they'll be touring Factory of Terror, the Dent Schoolhouse, the USS Nightmare, and Haunted Laboratory. LegendaryHauntTour.com.
You ever notice how the word laboratory, the pronunciation changed after Dexter's Lab? We always used to say laboratory, but then it's a laboratory.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, well, since I'm doing the Creep It Real ones, it's then Creep It Real Festive, November 22nd and the 23rd. Once again, Santa Ana, California, at the Heritage Museum OC. Similar details, CreepItRealOC.com.
And then it's Chris
Massacre?
Chris Massacre?
Yeah, I've been trying to figure that one out myself, so good luck.
Christmas Acre?
Chris Mass Acre.
Yeah. All right.
Damn, that's how it's not to be said. Fuck.
Yes. Sorry to the listeners who came up with the name. We may have gotten a note recently.
Yeah.
Thank
Anyways,
you for the
moving
note.
on.
Christmas Cur is taking place December 13th to the 15th in Greenville, South Carolina. The venue is Nightmare Dungeon. It will be at the Nightmare Dungeon Haunted Trail. More details coming and hauntfest.net for more info on that one as well.
And it's bad. I'm really excited about this event.
Yeah.
And I'm very sorry to the owners. We're actually very excited about this event because it's in Greenville, South Carolina, an area I have a high degree of familiarity with. Mm-hmm. I had family in the Greenville-Spartanburg area of South Carolina, grew up in central South Carolina. We're based in New Orleans now and have been for over 20 years. But yeah, I still have people I know and love in that area. And no one that I think would be good to send there, but...
No.
No. But still, I have a lot of fondness for the region. I'm glad to see them get a haunted attraction convention. So, yes, indeed. Well, that is all the conferences coming up. And so, as we said at the top of the show, we are doing the news. And we're starting off with a really, really sad one, unfortunately. Do you want me to take it? Or do you want to do it? I don't know. We didn't settle on who was doing odds or evens this time.
We didn't.
But go ahead.
Okay. Greene County Haunted Attraction has been closed for the foreseeable future. This article is by Andrew McClung at News 12. The haunted house was NC Haunted House. The Wicked Haunted Attraction it's burned to the ground due to arson.
Yeah, it's the Wicked Haunted Attraction in Greene County, North Carolina. Sorry.
Yes. Basically, firefighters from multiple nearby departments tried to put it out. It was burned to the ground. It will not be open for this season, and the future's unclear right now.
Yeah, they have set up a GoFundMe.
Yes.
And I will say, and this is in other articles, I had to combine articles for this one, but a man has been arrested for the suspected arson. His name is Leslie Earl Holloman III, meaning there were two other people who had that name. He's accused of setting at least 3 different fires in Greene County. This was the first, actually. 2 others over the course of the month. He's being held under a $150,000 bond. $150,000, thank you. $1,000 bond. And we will be linking to the GoFundMe in show notes. So please go to hauntweekly.com, check out the show notes.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just...
Yeah.
Yeah, I've said it before on this podcast, and I'll say it again. Like, theft, I get. I would never be a thief. I'm not a thief, and I hate thieves. But at least understand why you steal shit. You want money. You want shiny things. You want stuff. I'll never understand vandalism and arsonists, though.
No.
This is what makes you happy about destroying other people's hard work. And if you go to the actual article we linked to, there's a video where they interview the owner. And it is just, Jesus. You feel for this guy so hard.
Yeah.
I mean, he talks about how he and his friends, he and his team put years and years of work into this. And yeah, no doubt they did.
No.
And yeah, now it's just all literally a smoldering pile of ash because one dickhead decided to burn it to the ground.
Yeah.
For no discernible reason. And that's just it. Apparently this was just a serial arsonist, and this was just the start of, the August 2024 arson tour of Greene County. And it's like, what the fuck, right?
No. I
just don't understand it. It makes me sick. And I really do hope that they are able to recover and open next year bigger, better than ever.
Yeah.
Make sense? All right. Well, this one's another, not as sad one, but also interesting. The old courthouse catacombs is moving to a new location due to radon levels in building. There's a reason we haven't heard. This article is by 14 News. Basically, in Evansville, Indiana, the old courthouse catacombs haunted attraction is moving. It was previously held in the basement of the, wait a minute, former Vanderbilt County Courthouse. I know, shock, right? However, they are being forced to move due to high radon levels. They are going to do abatement. They're going to work on it and try to fix the issue. I've never dealt with radon. I have no idea what the fuck you do for it. But they hope to move back there next year. But in the meantime, they will be moving into the basement of their sister attraction, the House of Lecter. So these are like 2 attractions run by the same people. They'll be moving into the basement of that, which, at least they got a place to land.
Yeah, and it's nice that they already have that set up.
Yeah.
Where they can do it.
And the good thing about, I mean, okay, this is a fucked up thing to say, but the good thing about Radon is that the stuff is okay, so they can just move the stuff to the new location and set up. They don't have to replace everything. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. So yeah, it's a rough story, but I am happy that they were able to land on their feet and move on, and still open this year.
Yeah, and still open this year, and find out in time to be able to do that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't, like I said, I know nothing about radon, and it's just not a thing here. Partly because basements aren't a thing here. Yeah. I know radon is like a basement thing. I do know that much.
Yeah.
But I don't know why.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a thing up in Illinois.
Oh, yeah, well, they have basements.
Yes, exactly.
Here, what we call a basement is also known as an underground swimming pool.
Yeah.
Moving on.
It's another sad one. This one is haunt adjacent.
Yeah.
There were 20 people injured in a Ferris wheel accident that caught fire at a Highland music festival in Germany. This article is by Ashley Lasmond at the Associated Press. Mm-hmm. They were basically 2 gondolas on a Ferris wheel caught fire. There was nobody on the Ferris wheel at the time.
No, there's no one on the initial gondola. Right. I think there were people on other gondolas, though.
Okay.
The article did not make that particularly clear, admittedly, and it was and since it was AP, it was like the article.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but it took place at the music festival near Leipzig.
Leipzig, I think it's Leipzig. Yeah.
Germany.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, none were in the gondola where the fire started. Mm-hmm. But the fire did spread.
Yeah.
As 65 people received medical care at the scene, and 16 were transported to hospitals. One thing that's been kind of frustrating is multiple news stories have reported different amounts of people who were injured. This one says 20, some have said 30. Obviously, there's some fog of war going on here. The investigation is ongoing, but apparently the initial impression is that some material that was under the Ferris wheel caught fire. And that's what caused it to spread up into the gondolas and create this problem.
Yeah, and the reason we're mentioning it here is because anytime there is a fire or something that happens at an amusement park...
Or, carnival ride, anything like that, yeah.
Yeah, we sometimes see repercussions from it in the form of fire codes.
Yeah.
And safety codes.
Yeah, and doing rides like this is an increasingly common thing at haunted attractions.
Yeah.
We're seeing more. I mean, I remember when Scout Island State Park was a thing, they had a Ferris wheel. Mm-hmm. It's not uncommon for, especially the haunted theme parks, to add, or the haunt parks, rather, to add rides, including Ferris wheels at times. So, yeah, it's definitely haunt adjacent, but relevant. This is, it's kind of weird because you don't hear about people getting injured on Ferris wheels.
Not typically, no.
No, and if they do, they usually did something pretty fucking dumb. Like, there was that one guy I remember who was, like, swinging in the gondola and made it go all the way back and fell out.
Yeah.
I'm like, that is 100% on you, buddy.
Yeah.
That's, no one else is eating that blame but you. But yeah, so we don't hear about it much, and I know that you don't like Ferris wheels, and now you just have a new reason to not like them.
I was right all along.
Yes, you were. And meanwhile, I'm just nonplussed by Ferris wheels. But, so yeah, it's a messed up situation. I do expect I don't know, because this has happened in Germany, and it didn't seem to make a lot of American headlines outside of the AP reporting. So I don't know if we'll be hearing a lot about it in terms of fire codes or safety codes here, but it's entirely possible. But yeah, I guess be mindful of what's underneath your rides, if you have rides. Is a good way to think about it. All right, we have 2 back-to-back stories about Not Scary Farm. Mm-hmm. The first one announces the launch of 2 new mazes, and perhaps more important to our question of the week, the return of Elvira. This is an article by Angel Melanson at Fangoria. Elvira will be returning for 3 select nights in Not Scary's Arm, as well as 2 new mazes to join the lineup. The Boogeyman one, which we will be mentioning later, and the Widow. Other returning favorites include Mesmer, the Grimoire, Cinema Slasher, Room 13, The Chilling Chambers, The Waxworks, more on that in a minute, and Bloodline. But yes, the main thing from this, though, is Elvira herself. She retired her long-running stint there in 2017, and basically she is bringing back she's coming back for to be a hostess for 3 nights this season.
It's for the Yours Cruelly Elvira XX experience.
Yeah, and go ahead.
Yeah, and it's going to pay homage to the 20-year season legacy of Not Scary Farm, and Cassandra Peterson will attend in person, obviously, and do signings and hang out.
And I'm sure photo ops and things like that, too.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, this is really, really cool to see Elvira getting back out there and returning to the haunt. It's been, like I said, since 2017, which, to put it in context, I don't think even Haunt Weekly was around the last time she did it.
No idea.
It'd be at least close.
Yeah.
But regardless, no, that's very, very cool, and I'm happy to see it. And honestly, if I were anywhere near Not Scary Farm, there is far more than a non-zero chance I'd be making every effort to go one of those nights.
Oh, yeah, if we were anywhere in the area, because it's a haunt we have never been to, so of course we're going to
go. Absolutely.
With or without.
And obviously we choose one of those nights.
Oh, yeah.
But speaking of Not Scary Farm...
The Waxworks Maze is going to be having its final season this year. So, this article is by Brady McDonald at the Press Telegram. And this is a maze that debuted in 2018, and it's a lot of people have really enjoyed it. It's one of, the crowd favorites.
Yes.
But it's also been said that it's dated compared to the newer mazes because they keep adding mazes.
And they keep improving the quality.
Exactly, of the new ones.
Yeah.
So they've decided that this will be the last year for the Waxworks Maze. If you're a fan of it and want to see it before it goes, pick one of the nights Elvira's there and just do both.
Yeah, I think that's exactly it. There's also concerns that concerns or maybe even hopes that it could mean the end of the Depths and Dark Entities, which will be retired. They were actually debuted at about the same time.
Right.
But yeah, the announcement that this was a return in the last season for the Waxworks was made at a fan event on August 22nd. And yeah, many are excited and hoping that the new mazes will be coming and they will be awesome. And one thing I find very interesting here is I'm thinking that, wow, they're looking at something from 2018 and going, that is so dated, we have to get rid of it and do something new.
Yeah.
That is a wild thought, because how many haunts have we been to that never really changed year after year? And
there is one section of one local haunt that has not changed in over a decade.
Fair.
It's been way longer than 10 years. It's probably been closer to 15.
It's like 6 years. They're looking at it going, it's too old. We This is the final year. Go through it if you like it. We're doing something brand new next year. And it's like, wow. Compare that to a lot of haunts, like I said, we know that at least have parts or sections that are up 10, 15 years. And I don't know. I mean, it's two very different mindsets. Now, one thing, reading in between the lines of this article, it does sound like they've really improved the quality of the mazes in that time.
Right.
They've really focused on improving the build quality and so forth. So it does look very juxtaposed.
Yeah, well, and if you look at, just the technology that's come out for haunters in the past 10 years or 6 years, whatever.
Yeah.
It's greatly increased the experience for people.
Well, that and just what you can do with the materials and the build and what you can do with setup and tear down.
Exactly.
And Not Scary Farm itself has grown. And that's a very cyclical thing, because as it gets bigger, they get more money that they can then invest into the new mazes and make those better, and then that draws more people. And it's a positive feedback loop that results in them, well, apparently running away with a goddamn football so much that a 5 to 6 year old maze is now seen as antiquated.
Yeah, well, and if they have So there's basically two types of artists that I've run across. There are the types that will do the same thing over and over and over and just
Blue Dog.
Exactly, cash in on that. And then there's the types that like to push themselves and try new things. And if it's around for longer than a couple of years, they don't want to see it anymore.
Jesus Christ, I can't read anything I wrote more than 6 months ago.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I've
never met an artist that's in between. It's either one or the other.
You're either like, I'm committed, this is my 30-year gig, I'm going to keep doing this until they put me on the ground, baby.
Exactly.
And then there's like, no, I don't talk about that, that's from February.
Yeah, exactly. Right?
We don't discuss things May.
Yeah, remember how much, angst we had over the 3 years of looking at the same haunt?
Oh, man.
Because of the closures?
Yeah, and no one else but us had seen it.
I know. It was actually pretty good.
It was actually a very good haunt. Very well designed, very well decorated, very well executed. But we were so fucking sick of it.
Yeah.
Just because every time we go to do laundry, every time we go to do anything in the haunt, it's the same shit from 2019 to 2022. Mm-hmm. Oh, man, that was rough.
Yeah.
And the bad thing is, like you said, it was up for 3 years because we finished it for HauntCon in 2020. We were forced closed in 2019 to the road. And then we're like, oh, yeah, we'll just open it in 2020. And then things happened.
Yes. There's some missing years there.
There's some other things we don't discuss among polite company.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing was, it was like, yeah, we never expected it to be up that long. And by the end of it, we're like, just get these little fuckers through so we can tear it down.
Yes.
Well, we were in a mood by the end of it, let's be honest. I mean, it went well, though. It did go incredibly well, though.
Yeah.
I'm very happy about that. Okay, now we're coming to what may be, for us, the most exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Saw director Darren Lynn Bousman to team up with Haunted Attraction. This is an article by Kelly Marchman McNeely at Horror Fuel. The director of Saw 2 through 4, Repo, the Genetic Opera, and The Devil's Carnival, and The Devil's Carnival.
Mm-hmm.
Darren Lynn Bousman will be teaming up with Exiled Trail of Terror to create Exiled Crooked Rosewoods. And that is about everything we know.
Yeah.
That is almost literally everything we know. Because the details of the collaboration are being kept very, very limited right now.
Mm-hmm. There is a short trailer on the site.
There is a short trailer, but it doesn't really help much.
No.
The tickets are expensive. They range from $59 to $199.
Mm-hmm. And
they promise 3 different levels of intensity. Like the $59 ones promises you a 1-hour tour. That's PG-13, I think they said. And I don't necessarily like it when haunts use MPAA ratings because those are actually trademarked by the MPAA. Just a heads up. The one we would probably be looking at is the $99 one. And that's a 2-hour walkthrough. And then there's the $200 version, which is also, both of these are rated R. They didn't really distinguish how one's harder than the other.
No.
But the $200 one is 3 hours and is supposedly more intense somehow.
It's a 3-hour tour.
I know. It was been in my head the whole fucking time. But yeah, and it's a 1-mile walk. That's literally all we know. It's near Kansas City, which provides an interesting opportunity.
Right, because we have a baby shower to go to for the grandkids on the way.
Near St. Louis.
Which puts us 4 hours away from it.
And yeah, 4 hours for context is not a big drive for us.
Mm-mm.
We've done haunt drives longer than 4 hours regularly, and that's actually less than the time to go to your parents, for example.
Yeah.
And I need to put this in some kind of context because we're sitting here recording this episode in my office, and we are sitting underneath 2 things that are signed by Darren Lynn Bousman from Repo the Genetic Opera. There's a third I haven't put up on the wall yet behind us. And we also have a whole shitload of other Repo the Genetic Opera stuff. And we also love the Devil's Carnival and Alleluia, the Devil's Carnival. And Saws 2 through 4 are fine. I've only actually seen, I think, through 3.
Yeah.
I don't think we actually saw 4, but they were fine. I mean, I remember not absolutely hating them, but no, we are huge fans of Repo the Genetic Opera, and I can actually say I've had a conversation with Darren Lynn Bousman on Instagram.
Yes.
Admittedly, it was over buying this shit, but so not like a personal conversation.
No.
But no, I mean, we're huge fans of Repo, huge fans of Darren Lynn Bousman, and really are hoping that we can do this and that whatever vision he's bringing to it comes. That's like the whole thing that's weird to me is they make this big deal about him being involved in this and being like co-creator of it.
Yeah.
And then don't explain at all how that's going to work.
No.
Nope, just completely leave it out there. And on one hand, more mystery.
Yeah.
On the other hand, I'd kind of like to know what I'm getting into, at least a little bit.
Yeah. Well, and
especially for that amount of money.
Well, and I've looked up reviews from previous years at this haunt. Mm-hmm. And it seems like it is a mile-long trail haunt.
Yeah, it is a trail haunt. I do know that, yeah.
And that you are expected to crawl over downed trees and things like that, which is an interesting thing. But I don't know if it's different this year than from when this article was.
Yeah, I'm sure the trail is going to be the same or similar. Mm-hmm. Like the physical location.
Yeah.
The question is, like, what does bringing in Darren do to this? Mm-hmm. How does that change anything?
Yeah.
So I'm going to be very interested. We're still in the, I guess planning maybe putting it too succinctly, but we're still looking into it, still discussing it, and still seeing just how practical this is, because we do have a baby shower on the 6th.
Right.
Which is that Sunday of that weekend.
Right.
And we do know that this haunt is open the 3rd, 4th, and 5th. So we may be able to go either the 4th or the 5th, depending on how early we want to get up there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so this might be making our big haunt trip. Is this location? We may be going to Kansas City. There are other haunts in the area. If you are one of them, reach out to us at Haunt Weekly at all the places.
Yeah, definitely. And we have been sort of scoping the Kansas City haunted attraction scene broadly, because one possibility that came up was going up early, doing this like Thursday night.
Yeah, Thursday/Friday.
And then do other haunts Friday. Mm-hmm. And then, do this on Friday.
This on Thursday, the other haunts Friday.
Yeah. And then head towards St. Louis for the baby shower.
Yeah. And pick up any along the way.
Yeah, exactly, that we want.
On Saturday.
Yeah, and maybe pick up a few more on Saturday, depending on the timings. The problem is it's not solely in our hands here.
Yeah.
This is Ellie's son. So we're trying to figure out, timing with her, timing with him, timing with his wife. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of variables at play here, but I am hoping it lines up so that we can go to this. It looks likely.
Yeah.
But I don't want to make any promises yet. But please, if you are in the Kansas City area, do shoot us a message. Once again, Haunt Weekly, all the places. Let us know what haunts we should check out in addition to this one, because we're going to the one Darren's helping out with. I mean, like I said, I'm literally sitting underneath 2 letters signed by him. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to miss that opportunity if I can at all avoid it.
Yeah, well, and the posters are signed also.
Yes. One of them is signed twice, I think, because it has the. No, I mean we got a lot of shit he signed. All right.
Yeah.
And I just realized I have no idea if I'm saying his last name right.
Oh well, that's on you.
Yeah, I know. I legit have no idea. I've only ever seen it written.
Yeah. All right, continuing on with the news.
More celebrities.
Yeah. I think this might be the last celebrity.
Yeah, it is.
Jimmy Fallon is also creating a spine-chilling haunted attraction in New York. This article is by Jess at the Wolf, and he is releasing. He just released, or is releasing September 3rd.
Yeah.
A children's book called 5 More Sleeps Till Halloween.
And it looks adorbs.
It does look adorable, and since previously said baby shower is asking for books. We might get some Halloween books.
Maybe, yeah.
That might be a question of the week coming up. What's your favorite kids' book for Halloween?
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
So
All right, but moving on.
Anyway, so his haunt is going to be called Tonightmares, because of course it is.
Of course,
it's going to take over Rockefeller Center.
Okay. It's Rockefeller Center, and you're tripping on the easy words today, man.
I know. There's too many R's there. In New York. And will feature 10 spine-chilling rooms that bring Fallon's nightmares to life.
And supposedly these are about things that terrorize him.
Yeah, and it's going to be a limited time experience, and there's already a wait list, so if you're interested in going to it, get up. The article was kind enough to list other haunts in the area, so that if you're not able to go to it, you miss out on the wait list.
I have a feeling for me this is going to be something I'll check out the video of or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm more curious. I mean, this isn't letting me curious like it's a haunted attraction experience. I just want to see what the fuck Jimmy Fallon thinks is terrifying to him. And what's in his nightmares. I don't know why. I'm just mildly curious. Alright, well. Ohio Cave, the longest in the world with terrors and 30,000 live bats. This is by WLWT.com. It's the Lewisburg Haunted Cave. The one walkthrough takes you 80 feet underground. The attraction right now holds a Guinness World Record for the longest walkthrough horror house at 3,563 feet. And basically it was named the best haunted attraction in a poll in 2018. But yes, basically the news here is that it has been granted the Guinness Book of World Records for the longest walk-through horror house.
Yeah.
But it's a cave.
It's a cave with 30,000 live bats. And the organizers have said that it's not intentionally scary.
Yeah, but okay.
But we've been in caves.
Yes.
That weren't intentionally scary. But they were still spooky. And when you don't know where other people are, it can be quite frightening.
Yeah, the one thing about caves that I find very, very interesting is most people, especially in our modern society, you never experience true, complete darkness.
Yeah.
Going into a cave may be maybe the easiest, or in some cases your only chance.
Yeah.
Because there's so much light pollution. We just did blackout windows on our bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
And to completely block it out. And it did block it out very well.
95%.
95 to 98%, but there's still that sliver that gets through just because physics, man, and the fact that, we have so much light pollution, we have street light outside, so we'll never get it 100% light free no matter how hard we try. But yeah, that is what I've always found unsettling is you think you love the dark until you are stuck in absolute true blackness.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently they say you can't stay in it too long because you will start to hallucinate.
Yeah.
I've heard that from multiple sources. I have no idea how valid it is, but it's at least a common thread.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, moving on.
All right. Netherworld has unveiled 2 new haunts for the 2024 season of Screams.
Yes.
And this article is by Brad Nitz at WSB TV 2. So yeah. They're going to be doing Wake the Dead and Mr. Grindel's Birthday Party of Horrors.
Now, I want to stop here and say that when I first heard these titles, I was way more interested in Mr. Grindel's Birthday Party.
Yeah.
Just because, A, you have a named character. You know, I'm down for named characters.
Yeah.
And B, why would a birthday party be scary?
Mm-hmm.
But, as you'll describe... Wake the Dead. Yeah.
Wake the Dead features a blighted necropolis and a recently awakened army of the dead. Story of a group of warriors who seek to stop it.
And to be clear, I'd read the article on this one. They go into much more detail about how they were awoken and how the spirits of Netherworld brought them. It's a whole long thing. But it's actually really interesting. But yeah, it's too much for this. And then...
And then Mr. Grindle's birthday party, which reminds me of It's My Party and I'll Die If I Want to, which was a pretty good cheesy.
Actually, it was it was by students from the Savini School of Special Effects.
Yeah.
So the practical effects were amazing.
Yeah, they were really
No
good.
notes on those.
Yeah. But anyway, Mr. Grindle's birthday party, he is a flesh-eating ogre disguised as a clown that gains incredible powers after eating cryptids. So he's a Kirby clown ogre.
Yeah, who eats cryptids.
Yeah.
And he's now targeting the biggest cryptid of all to get the ultimate Palak Highlander shit here.
Yeah.
The Boogeyman.
Yeah.
I'm your Boogeyman. That's what I am. Yeah. So, honestly, I've got to say, after reading the descriptions, I'm way more curious about the Wake the Dead.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds fun. Like, Grindle's birthday party sounds fun. But, like, as someone who is really into storytelling and haunting, it sounds like they've really got a well-thought-out narrative on the Wake the Dead one.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, a clown cosplaying ogre eating cryptids has its own allure.
Yeah, that's a lot of descriptors for a character.
Yeah.
But it does sound like a lot of fun. I am curious, because there was another one that was doing a boogeyman, and I'm wondering if this one is going to eat that one.
It was Not Scary Farm. They had a boogeyman maze.
Yeah, that wanted to fingers. It was a boogeyman obsessed with eating fingers in the article.
It's a weird fucking industry.
Yeah.
But anyways, they also are announcing they will have 5 escape rooms open during season for you to check out and try. And honestly, like I said, it sounds like Netherworld has definitely grown since we went. I mean, we were there the last season of their old location, and we had a blast.
Mm-hmm.
Great experience. Loved everything about it. But yeah, I can now see why they wanted to get out of that location, because A, parking was fucked.
Yes.
And A, that, and B, they got a lot more fucking room. So much room for activities.
Yes, exactly.
All right. Moving on. This is an article by Tomohiro Osaki at the Sunnyside Sun, which say that 5 times fast. And it's entitled Chill Seeking Japan's Haunted House Summer Tradition. And yeah, this one really intrigued me. We're in kind of the sliding out and calming down part of it a little bit. So we got 2 gentler stories here to talk about. But this one really fascinated me, because the article explains why haunted attractions in Japan are busiest during summer. And there's 2 very important reasons for it. First is that there is a tradition in Japan that says ancestral spirits will return to household altars during the mid-August Obon holiday, which is very cool. And the second reason is air conditioning.
Yeah.
I'm not even making that last one up.
No. Well, and
it makes sense, though.
It makes a lot of sense. Whenever we first moved to the city, one of our first walkabouts, the French Quarter, we found the Wax Museum, and it was a hot-ass day, and we're like, well, that has to be cool.
Well, yeah, because 2 idiots decided to go on walkabout in the French Quarter in summer.
Yeah.
But yeah, and we were right. It was very cool. It was very nice.
I think that's half of the reason it stayed open as long as it did.
It was a place to step inside, get air conditioning without having to get food and or alcohol.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, honestly, if you're a haunt and a place, like a tourist place, especially one with mostly a summertime crowd, and you're not advertising the AC portion of it,
yeah,
I think you might be missing out. Japan might have you beat here.
Step out of the heat and into the creepy
In
world
fact,
of blah, blah, blah.
They even have a whole thing where they advertise chilling away the heat. The scares will chill away the heat. I fucking love that. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That is wonderful. If you are in a tourist market and you're not doing this, pay attention. Get a sign.
Yeah.
Do something. Man.
Maybe name your haunt something that's cold in the name.
Oh, now we're going to be doing Mr. Freeze puns for the rest of the podcast.
Pretty much, yeah.
Ice to meet you.
No, that's not scary.
Okay. Sending chills up your spine.
Yes.
Things like that. But no, I mean, I thought this was really neat. And that made haunted attractions a traditional thing for summer in Japan, not Halloween season.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, I think this, obviously, we can't really change the culture of the United States around some of this stuff. But I think that, especially, like I said, if you're in a tourist market and you're appealing to especially summer tourists, here you go. A new attack, a new approach. Especially as global warming kicks off. I mean, come on. It's only going to get hotter.
Well, not only that, but it's also only going to get colder, so you could do warm ones in cold places.
Yeah.
During the winter.
That's true. There you go.
No. All right. Finally, for this week, Disney has introduced a new trailer for the Gamer Mickey Rebrushed.
For the game. Sorry, that's a game.
Game.
Mickey Rebrushed.
Yeah. The article is by William Adams at List 23.
Again, this Gamer Mickey Rebrushed. Wait a minute. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
Okay.
Purple Lamps.
Purple Lamp Studios and THQ Nordic are soon releasing Disney Epic Mickey Rebrushed. It will feature Disney being thrust into a wasteland.
Oh, God, that's my fault. It's Mickey being thrust into the wasteland, not Disney. Walt Disney's just ain't alive. Sorry about that. That's my fault. I was tired by the time I was at the end of the notes.
Yeah, I'm going to change that. So it's not in the show notes that get posted.
Yeah.
But it's a haunted attraction created by sorcerer Yen Sid. Game will be released September 24th on all platforms.
So yeah, this just looked like an interesting little game.
It does look pretty fun.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I've played a fair amount of Mickey Mouse games over the years.
Mm-hmm.
They've not, I mean, they're okay. Everyone's got a couple stinkers. But overall, they haven't been bad. Now, I never got into, the RPG ones. Oh, man. It's going to hit me in a minute. But yeah. Shoot. What was it? It's going to hit me in any second now. No, it's not the Mirrorverse. Jesus Christ. But anyways. Yeah, I've overall enjoyed, Disney games and Mickey Mouse games in general, because they've been very well made. Disney does a very good job controlling its license. Kingdom Hearts, thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh my God, that was going to cause an aneurysm. Kingdom Hearts, I never got into those because I never had a system where they were released until like super recently.
Yeah, I had friends who were really into it.
Yeah, I know people that are like really into that series.
Yeah.
And like, you need help. Like, I watched the Angry Video Game Nerd chronologically confused about Kingdom Hearts.
Uh-huh.
And yes, it was terribly done. I will admit that. But at the same time, it made me go, okay, maybe I don't need to do all this in my life. Like, I got confused enough by Zelda games. But
yeah.
Regardless, they generally are very well done. Disney has good controls in place. So yeah, I think this looks like an awesome game, and it looks like it might be a fun kids game for haunted attractions. So now you got to go with the kids' book that we mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
All in all, not bad. Not bad, especially for people who might have a grandson on the way.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think that's everything.
Yeah.
On that note, everyone, we greatly appreciate you spending the past 45 minutes with us or so. Hope that this was useful. Hope you learned something interesting. Please, if you are in the Kansas City area, hit us up. Let us know about haunts that we should be interested in, things that we should check out. Maybe a Facebook group or something that we should join to ask the question in. We're open to that. But please let us know where to start looking, as it looks like through no fault of our own, that's where our far afield trip is likely to be this year. On that note, though, if you want to answer the question of the week, give us other feedback, or just follow us and stalk us like we're stalking you Cheerios eater. Do it at all the places we exist. We're at hauntweekly.com, hauntweekly on Twitter, hauntweekly on Facebook, and youtube.com/hauntweekly. Until next time, I'm Jonathan.
I'm Crystal.
And we will see you all next week.